Hello everyone tuning in. Today we're starting another show of Idea Lab where we delve into uh, ideas how to make money using mainly online kind of businesses. And today we have an idea how to productize your service and make a profit out of it. And for first, what we have on the menu, I'll show you next slide. So today we'll have quite an accomplished guest, Dan Norris, who has his own business running for quite a while called WPCurve. So we'll go over how he's running his own business, how he started, and what kind of other activities he does. And you'll be able to ask questions if you tune in into live chat. And also I'll present my own example how I started my own idea business using the same methodology and also the ideas that Dan wrote in his book 7 Day Startup. And then at the end of the show, we'll have a discussion where I'll shoot some questions to Dan and anything you want to ask as well. Just tune into a chat box and post there. So let's start off first with my idea and then maybe Dan will have some comments later on. So idea is basic. I wanted to get involved with podcast industry because I thought I was a podcast listener myself, and I was thinking what kind of problems I can solve uh, for podcasters, and I came up basically with a few problems that are most common. Of course, I haven't done my podcast myself at that time when I was thinking, and therefore I was more like brainstorming. So a couple of ideas I had heard from a podcasters, basically that there's not much of analytics. That was first my idea to maybe improve podcasting analytics. And then another idea, which I was thinking, were people who are involved in podcast already spending money on different problems, and where it would be quite simple to do a service or business out of it. So that was how I gave birth to a transcription service dedicated to podcasters. And here is the sort of a snapshot of a site I just created before. Basically, I'm just targeting specifically the niche podcasters, and I'm offering them like custom-made transcripts we can use for their blogs, emails, and other mediums. So where to begin? Basically, before the new year, I was thinking how to actually start any kind of business and have some kind of instructions or guidelines. And I came across Dan's book called 7 Day Startup, which is basically just the steps you need, the bare bones where you can start any kind of online business using 7 days. Basically, when you put yourself into the time frame of 7 days and put a deadline on it, you can actually have some results, tangible results after the 7 days, and you can even get your first customers. So the first thing is, as you said, a few steps. First, you find a niche, find a problem, and decide on the name you want to do for your business, and then you do like a simple WordPress site, which can be done like in a single day, hosted and themed. And then I come up with a marketing plan, which I'll go in the next slide. And basically that's it. Once you're out of the door, then you're actually can start getting their marketing out, get their word out, and just roll with the idea and see if it actually works. If it doesn't, you can actually fail much faster than spending like a year planning out, and once you launch, there's no like you don't know if it will work or not. It's basically ties into the MVP idea, like minimal viable product, but you could call it even minimal viable idea, which you can validate. So these days, it's almost impossible to like do an online business and thinking that clients will come to you without doing anything yourself, uh, as there's so much noise and competition everywhere. So there are ways how you can market your business and basically choose which channel is working for you. And to choose that, you need to just, as this phrase I liked from one uh, uh, of a person who did the similar style business, is just try a bunch of stuff. So what I tried myself, and I can tell you what actually worked, was I just tried a bunch of stuff. Like I tried blogging first, seeing which articles to write. This ties in basically into like content marketing, where you not just blog for the sake of blogging, but you tailor content that solves problems and actually gives value to the reader. Uh, so that had a reasonable result. It helped mainly for SEO, like for some keywords, which I didn't expect to work that well. We got ranked on Google like second page, even some of them first page. So that was a like medium success, but it didn't got many clients. And then the next things is like social, basically Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn to some extent. And Twitter was the only channel that actually gave me my first client. It wasn't expected because I see Twitter as very spammy these days, where everyone tries to promote everything. It's really hard to get through the noise. But if you target specific niche, you might get out a message and get someone interested in your business. And if you have like a follow up and you're monitoring your channels, you can get someone through your sales funnel. And then the last thing, which I'm still continuing to do, is podcasting, because I'm targeting the niche podcasters. It's quite reasonable to do a podcast myself and see what the actual problems are, and if see I'm not biased to myself. And this helped me to network with other podcasters and actually trying to gain the connections and see validate the idea if what I'm doing is actually of value, and then get other ideas, what kind of services would be useful for podcasters and what kind of problems we face, and also learn uh, about the industry and what does it mean to be a good podcaster. So there's a lot of value in doing that. Of course, it's a bit involved, but fun as well. And the last point I want to touch is actually to run a business and to start something fast. If you're like doing a full-time job, might be a little bit hard to do if you do it only by yourself. So one of the ways you can improve and grow more is to utilize the freelancers. There's a biggest site for all the like you can get any freelancer almost for any job. It's called Upwork. Uh, Basically, you, you need to have specific roles what you intend to do, and productized services. I think it's very suited like to running your like operations using freelance, at least for the first few months. Once you start getting more revenue, you can maybe hire someone full time, and you can with basically minimum of cost, hire someone to work part-time. Like for instance, I have a transcription service and I hire someone who's just gives like a few hours a day or 4 hours a day, and he can just do one transcript for me, which I can send it to a client, sell it to a client as well. So that's one of the ways you can bootstrap your business using your own money, and you don't need to like have some investments. And it's pretty easy way to grow at first, and actually it's a good way to also test the people you want to hire. Like I did for using Upwork, I just uh, did like a small jobs we are willing to do for free, and this way you can just test if a freelancer is actually any good and reliable, and can he do like quality work. But as with freelancing, it takes a while to find good people and to like get it going properly if you're doing it on ongoing basis. And of course, there's a additional cost that you have to pay 10% to Upwork. So, and the last points is probably related to operations, like managing work can be, I think, quite overwhelming at first, especially if you're running everything yourself. So to mitigate that, try to like write down the processes steps, how to run your service, and think about how you can actually get out yourself uh, out of a business, so the business could run without you. That's, I think, the main idea of a productized service. That's more like a product, and you can scale it to bigger levels. So conclusion, uh, basically find a problem or an issue and how to solve it, and see if you can solve it profitably, and then try to hire fast so you can actually mm, get customers and satisfy the needs, so it wouldn't depend just on yourself. And then create and iterate the process, so the process won't be as good at first and you won't get it right from first time. Just try something and iterate and see if it works for you. All right, and we'll have discussion a bit later. Now let's get back to Dan. So then, what do you think about this idea?
What in particular do you want feedback on?
Sorry, got a little bit break up.
What exactly do you want feedback on? Yeah.
Well, do you think this is like fits the productized service like frame as you do for the WPCurve? And how would you frame it a productized service? What are the principles? How the productized service would be run based on your experience?
Well, I think there's a bunch of criteria of how to come up with a productized service. This kind of service probably covers some of that stuff. I normally like to be broader rather than sort of niche down. I think if you're doing sort of work that people with real businesses need, it's an ongoing thing. I think that's useful. So I guess with productized services, it makes a difference that it's an ongoing idea. It's an ongoing subscription. So if you're trying to wrap something up in a subscription that is really an ongoing task, then you can get yourself into trouble. But as long as you can find customers that have podcasts that pay out regularly, they either don't know how to manage themselves or that they've got enough money there to delegate or outsource that to someone else, and you can do it well and you can get enough attention for it, then I suppose it makes for a pretty good idea. The challenge with some of these ones is lots of people have a podcast, but not everyone has a business and has enough money to pay recurring fees for something. The challenge isn't in the service itself. The challenge is more in the marketing and how do you actually get to people who are happy to pay you every month, not just you like get you for their first podcast and realize they're not making money from the podcast, so they can't afford to pay someone to help. So it almost looks like the idea doesn't really need to be validated. It's the marketing idea that you need to figure out, can you actually use these people for a reasonable amount of money and get them to pay you every month. That's probably the biggest challenge, as opposed to is this actually a good idea.
All right. So I think you're breaking up a little bit, at least from my side. I'm not sure why actually. It's just like when you start speaking, it catches up the mic and then it sort of breaks up. I'm not sure, is it because of a hangout or is it something else? Do you hear me clearly?
I can hear you. I'm not sure. That's it.
Okay, maybe what maybe we can do, maybe we can try rejoin just to be sure, because I'm not sure how it will be recorded. Maybe it will be all right, but it's just like breaking up a little bit on my side, so I don't want that we lose the content here.
What do you do?
So maybe try like closing the Hangout and then just click on the Hangout link I sent you before again, and then we will see if it gets better. Okay, so all right. So yeah, what Dan was speaking is before basically the idea you need to think about if this idea you are providing to any kind of businesses.
Is it any better?
Yeah, it's a bit better actually.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So to get it clear, what you're saying that's basically you need to be sure that the value you're providing it's worth paying for, and that podcasters actually will be willing to do the payments on a monthly basis.
Yeah, I think the work will be main the question whether or not you can find people prepared to pay. So like there'll be a lot of people who want help with the podcast, but how many of those people actually have an amount of money each month they're prepared to allocate to this, and that's a real business bringing in consistent money every month, and they're able to spend the money on it. There's a lot of people doing podcasts who don't really have a real business, so it's going to be hard to get the people that do versus the ones that don't.
Yeah, I agree on that. Okay, can you like share your story how you started WPCurve? And I mean, it's quite fascinating to me when I read it. You did it like in 7 days, and basically that's where the 7 days startup and the book and the community sort of got like started. I think it would be interesting for someone who is listening in.
Yeah. So I worked, as a sort of a freelance developer, and I guess I had a little agency. And it hadn't really worked for me, and I just had to think about how to do it a little bit differently. And I knew a lot of people in my audience had problems with WordPress. I just wanted to make sure I could solve those problems in a way that avoided all the challenges that you have with an agency. And so I came up with the idea of doing unlimited jobs every month for a standard monthly subscription, and it just sort of took off. I didn't do that for marketing. I had content out, lots of podcasts and stuff like this. I didn't do it as a paid marketing. It just took off on because it was an interesting idea, and it was solving a problem that a lot of people can't solve. And over 20 years, we signed up about 1,000 customers who now pay us every month. We built a team of 40 contractors around the world. And I guess I'd try lots of things. And experience of planning out a lot of projects in advance and not having any success versus the experience of coming up with it, rolling with it, and it working was enough for me to think, well, there's something in there for other people to try. And rather than procrastinating your idea, well, you just go ahead and launch it. kind of see the results of what's happening rather than guess what's going to happen, which is what a lot of entrepreneurs do.
All right. And can you tell me how that turned into a like 7-day startup community and a book?
Yeah, I just started to write a book about the process of launching WPCurve. And because it was going in 7 days, I thought that was a good name for the book. And I tried businesses as well since then. And I'd been able to launch them pretty quickly. So I came up with this sort of idea of launching businesses in 7 days. And that became the book. And again, I didn't really expect much. I just kind of put it out there to see what would happen. And as it turned out, people really liked it and a lot of attention. Lots of sales, translations in other countries. And I had the Facebook groups when I launched the book just as a marketing exercise. And then it just grew and sort of said, do you guys want to keep it? And we did. It just grew into an group of people launching self-funded businesses. Myself, we do a quarterly challenge where people launch a challenge if they want to. Otherwise, they just kind of use it as they can. And I think we're up to 6,500 members now. And lots and lots of other people launch businesses using the method. Some 6 businesses, 7 bigger businesses. And of course, that haven't worked out as well, but that's what you get. Yeah, that's how it comes about.
Yeah, it's interesting. And you actually didn't do any kind of like paid advertisement or marketing. All your traction you got mostly from doing content marketing, right?
Yeah. We had a couple of retargeting experiments happening within that first 2 years, but only like a tiny amount of money. And pretty much all of our audience came through the content we were doing or just through word of mouth, press, just people talking about what we're doing. It's pretty much how we got all of our customers and the content. We had a podcast, we did a lot of content on the blog, 4 or 5 posts up there, weekly email, and my own personal sort of self-branded content as well. 7-day stuff and just get a lot of attention that was presenting at conferences, that kind of stuff, but no real paid advertising. That was sort of the idea because I didn't really understand paid advertising and I liked content, so I wanted to build a business around the idea of doing content.
All right. I think we're getting a little bit. I just want to ask you one favor. Maybe you have like Audacity or something where you can click record just in case, if we like, in case the audio wouldn't turn out well, so we can like fix some parts at least later.
Is not you can use one.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. So, can you tell me a little bit about WPCurve now? Did it change like the growth when you had like in the beginning? How much did you have to like change the processes and actually the actual business itself? Did you have to bring in some new people, or what kind of steps did you have to do to reach the 1 million revenue a year, as I heard you did already?
Yeah, so we've got team leaders in each location, about contractors around the world. The business is pretty much the same as it was from day one, just a bigger scale. A system to manage the team, a lot of tools we use, Slack and Trello and a bunch of others to manage jobs. We've got our own system that we use. We've got processes for hiring and firing and everything else. Other than that, it's pretty much the same business. It's email their jobs, fix them on the same day, and they're more or less happy. I guess we have a few challenges. There's training new staff, challenge. But yeah, it's essentially the same thing as the systems aren't that much different. I guess I'm not hands-on with the service anymore. That's probably one difference. I can focus on growth and marketing, putting out content, which is what I like to do. But other than that, the service is pretty much the same. It's fully remote. We don't have any employees. I work out of the Gold Coast. My founder is over in the US, and everyone else is in between. Most people in the Philippines. I think we're in 7 countries, practice in 7 countries. Yeah, it's the same. It's just, I guess, the biggest.
How crucial was finding a partner, and was it hard to find someone to partner up, or did you knew already before from some networking?
Alex just met me through the blog, reached out to me, and was in a position at the time, I guess. I needed someone in the US, and he was there, ready to work, and so we started working together. It led to us both half of the company each, or more or less half each. And yeah, I think at the time I really needed it because we needed some way of building the service over that part of the world, and he started there. I sort of felt at the time I'd never had business with other people, and I was just doing it all by myself, and I kind of felt I needed to partner with someone. But yeah, it sort of just happened randomly, and the time was very good. Right when I needed to find someone, and for him, it was when he needed an opportunity as well. So good timing.
It's probably crucial to say that this wouldn't happen if you wouldn't have been producing a lot of content before, and then actually doing the groundwork, like doing your blog, doing your podcast, and then trying to connect with entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think a lot of stuff that's happened with WPCurve, a lot of attention with a lot of the influencers and affiliates and customers, all been a result of the content we've been doing over 11 years. So I can trace most of the big things that happened with any businesses back to content, including meeting co-founders and investors and customers and all sorts of things. The businesses I work on, it seems to be a consistent theme.
Yeah, I think that this ties in that. You just have to get out yourself into into a wild and actually start doing something, and then once you do and connect to people, especially entrepreneurs, you're learning, then you can find ways how to provide value and then actually build a business. All right. And can you tell a little bit about WPCurve, maybe, or in general, productized service? Maybe we touch a bit how to you can measure if a business can be profitable, and what kind of correct pricing you should do.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one. I don't think you'll really know until you start. You can make a few assumptions around how much it's going to cost you to have a customer, and then just make sure that there's some decent profit margin in there. If it's going to cost $100 a month to have a customer, you really need to be charging probably $200 or $300 a month to really have any kind of business there, because essentially it's going to cost more than you think to have a customer. And a lot of people don't really think about that. They just start and just start with the price they think is reasonable, and they'll get sort of 30 customers in the ceiling. And it's sometimes not as simple as just raising prices, because the market might not bear the price that you want to raise to. So you need to kind of do those calculations. I did pretty roughly because I sort of estimated around about it costs $30 a month to have a customer. And so we charge twice that. And as it turned out, it's actually too far off. I probably underestimated a little bit, and as a result, added in high-level pricing plans and annual plans and stuff to increase the lifetime value a little bit. But other it's been reasonably close to sort of what we thought it cost to have a customer to what it is costing a customer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's crucial. I mean, I was biased myself a little bit when I started doing this. It was quite a good advice you pointed out first time that the pricing was a lot low, and then I started to break down the actual cost using just bare Google spreadsheets, and I actually saw how much do I need to charge for the actual service to make at least some kind of a profit from the start.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to do. You got to estimate absolutely every single cost and estimate, what the business is going to be like when you got hundreds of customers, which is kind of hard to do, but it really is important to do. And the other important thing is you just keep reviewing it. Estimate at the start after you launch, review it a month after you launch, review it again, and just keep reviewing it until you're really confident that you know exactly how much it's costing each customer, how much you're allowed to do, how much market will bear you charge for. If you charge more, then charge more, but um, quite often charging more means less customers. And I always wanted to have a business with lots of customers paying very little rather than few customers paying a lot. And it needs to, the reason I wanted that is that reflects the kind of marketing we do. It's pretty broad marketing. A lot of people see it, but there's no really heavy selling. So we can't charge $1,000 a month because we're not doing the work to sell people at $1,000 a month. So then it's a nice fit when you price marketing. And I always thought that the sort of sub $100 a month price point was a good fit for sort of marketing to do. And as long as you're making a profit on that, then that can kind of, yeah, but you got to measure it over time to make sure that the calculations are actually correct or close.
Actually, I liked your idea when someone commented it's much easier to charge 10 customers, get 10 customers that pay $100 instead of one customer that pays 1,000.
Yeah, it's easier for me for the marketing that I do. It might be easier for everybody. Like some people like doing heavy sort of high touch selling, in which it might be easier to sell one customer $1,000 a month. But it's hard to scale that though. So you need a bit of a plan for scaling that. And I didn't want marketing to rely 100% on me. So I wanted to do the broad content marketing and then other people who write the content I've done and keep that growth without me.
Okay. Do you think like a productized service business kind of is for everyone that can anybody start that kind of business, or you need some kind of special skills before you can do this?
I think you need to be able to deliver you promise a high standard. So depending on what your business is, you need skills in that area, or you need to be able to hire people to do it. And that's just fundamental. You need to offer good service. You need to be an expert in what you do, or you need to work with experts in what you do. I think that goes for any business, not a service business. So you either going to get really, really good at whatever you're offering service in, or you're going to have to find people who can offer it really well. And if it's something you can scale, then you need to be in a position where you can find those people ongoing, which can be challenging because if it's a really specific skill, then it's going to be much harder to hire for that. So you need to keep in mind when you come up with your idea. And always, the reason we went for 30 minutes more WordPress jobs is because I know I could hire guys from the Philippines cheap, and there's a lot of them around to do the work. And if we had to hire guys in Australia to do this work, this business would exist because it would cost us 10 times as much. So you need to factor that into when you plan your idea.
Yeah, good points. And uh, one interesting thought, if you would be, if you would have like a time machine right now and you can from now go back to the time when you just got the idea for WPCurve, how differently would you start the company? Or would you do something differently at that point?
Um, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, if I was to launch a business now, after WPCurve, I probably would do some things differently. I'd probably just have a really good think about how like ongoing in the services. Like I think with WPCurve, we have pretty good retention, but we've always got a chance of people signing up and getting stuff done and then leaving, which any product service is going to have, any membership is going to have, and any recurring service is going to have, or recurring business at all. But I think if I do it again, I'd probably choose something where it's really something that people need absolutely every single month. And I don't know, I don't really have any other ideas I can think of that are better, because fixing websites is very core to what I do and what I'm known for. So I don't know if I'd really change too much. I would give a lot of thought to what's a problem that is never going to really be solved. Like that's what a recurring service or product is. It's solving a problem that is ongoing. It's not really going to be solved. It's something that's always going to be. And that's something I think people get wrong. They pay something up, not really an ongoing service, they charge a monthly fee for it. And if you do that, you're just going to leave. So retention is probably our challenge. So that's probably something I spend a little bit of time on. And that's probably, I mean, the other thing I'm doing more now is building a team locally. Where I'm in my office, I'm going 100% remote. I'm finding that better. It's better for getting stuff done. It's quite challenging for 100% remote business. So if I was to do a business now, it wouldn't be 100% remote. I just find it challenging to work that way. That's a change I would make.
Yeah, and I would say like if you compare like what we have right now, use Skype and other technologies, it's some businesses that couldn't exist like 10 years ago. Right now it can because of like lower cost if you hire some freelancers in Philippines or in other jurisdictions. So it's interesting that new opportunities pop up that you maybe like 10 years ago, someone who's stuck in that in the past, we still think that someone is impossible, but due to internet and new like tools we have, we can create some new businesses as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities out there about that.
Yeah, and one more thing I'm interested, as you mentioned, you're really into the content marketing thing. Do you have like a specific like process, or as we call it, sales funnel, how you bring in the customers? And can you touch on that? What is your like strategy?
I mean, it's basically just creating content that is highly actionable, is the best in the class for this type of content, and giving people an obvious next steps. If we do an article about marketing, what's something we can entice them with for their email as like a lead magnet. The week before, I did a post on a lead magnet, and call to action was sign up and get this lead magnet kit with a free ebook cover, and free ebook design templates, and 5 to 8% of the people who read that are going to take that option, give their email address, and go on to the sequence in which is in WPCurve. So that's basically the strategy. Two is content as possible, have call to action for every post, have a pitch sequence based on the topics people are interested in, and done with Infusionsoft lead pages, and just a content team and a designer doing the lead magnets. And we focus on the amount of leads generated from each piece of content, and that's our main metric for each month, is how many leads we can generate from the content. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The only part of it is working out what goes well, constantly reviewing the stats of what content's going well, and doing more of what's working and doing a lot less of what's not working, being really ruthless around what goes into what gets accepted and what gets rejected, making sure what side is actually really good. Sharing it in my 7 community conversation going around, on social media. That's pretty much the strategy, and the tweaking we're doing is just trying to constantly get better and better at doing great content, nicer images, better images, better calls to action, better lead magnets, and just tweaking every part of the process. But fundamentally, it's about putting out good content and eventually getting people to consume it and trust us, getting to our email funnel for the curve.
I think the first part is really important. Someone to be willing to give you money to solve a problem. You already like read 10 blogs of yours and or you already solved some of them problems. It's probably much more likely that they'll be like willing to try a trial of a service or actually becoming a customer straight away.
Yeah, it's very much about building trust over a long period of time, which is requires patience, but how it works, I wouldn't be if it didn't work. So it's just believing in it and constantly doing it, constantly trying to improve, and I think it pays eventually.
Yeah, good advice. I'm just also thinking, are you like on the board for like 4-hour work week mindset and how much you actually spend time on your business, like primary business probably is the WPCurve.
Um, I don't know. I've got a few things I'm working on, but WP is definitely has the most amount of potential from anything I'm working on it, I think, and is the biggest in terms of revenue at the moment. So that's quite a bit of my focus. I'm very much on board with delegation and having processes and making sure you have a team that does all the key work for you and not doing everything yourself, which is very much part of the 4-hour work week, but also keen on the idea of working 4 hours a week. I quite like working, and if I was only working 4 hours a week, I honestly don't know what else I'd be doing, because I like working too much.
Yeah, I think when you people sort of like are designed to, in a sense, evolve to do some work. If you're not working, then you're becoming a vegetable. So, and if you're doing something that you like or you say passionate about, it doesn't feel like work. Is that something that you feel about WP Curve, or is it other things?
Yeah, I think so. You build a business around your skills and build it in a way that, as you do the sort of work you love to do all day, every day, and it doesn't feel like work. And if it does feel like work, probably gone about it the wrong way, I think, or maybe you're not actually that excited about being an entrepreneur. Yeah, there's very few things I do that I don't enjoy doing and really feel like sort of work.
Again, you actually, mm, based on what I read on your book, you pushed yourself pretty hard when you had your agency, and as you said, it wasn't that kind of work you enjoyed, but you still did it for quite a while.
Yeah, and I didn't make that mistake with this one, really by the end, it sort of felt like a job, and I'd built myself a job, but not a very good one. And so I didn't want to make that mistake this time. I want to make sure I start a business where I knew the sort of what I was doing every day was going to be what I enjoyed, and I think that's really important.
Yeah, wonderful. All right, so maybe for our last points, can you give like some insight for anyone who's thinking about maybe starting a productized service? How, where should we start, and what things we should concentrate on?
I guess make sure it's an ongoing problem that people have. Don't get too carried away with the idea or any kind of planning or anything like that. Just try and start doing this work for somebody. If you can get someone to pay you, then that's the best case scenario. If you can't, then just do it for free. Get testimonials, get proof. Make sure you deliver it really well. That you've got people that are raving about what you're doing. And if they're not paying you, then that's still proof, and that's still going to refer you to other people. And eventually get to the point of building a brand around what you do. Make it really referable. Execute it really well. Make sure it's priced with the ability to scale. Get good at procedures, and then do the kind of marketing that's going to get a lot of attention for your ideal customer and keep growing it. Ideally, or if it doesn't work, then give it a good crack and something else.
Yeah, as you like constantly mention, don't be afraid to fail because that's part of a process being an entrepreneur and actually doing businesses.
Yeah, treat it more like an experiment when you're trying to figure something out, and if it doesn't work, then you learn something and you move on. You can learn something else, rather than a sort of personal failure, because that's really what's required. I think that you're going to screw up a lot of things if you're anything like me, and if you take it personally, you'll give up eventually. But if you treat it more like an experiment, I think eventually, ideally, you'll figure out how to make it work and achieve some success.
All right, and maybe you can just give a who is listening about your things you're up to, projects like 70 startup and the Black Hawk Bears. I don't remember how you call it exactly, and just that and where we can find people you or follow you, read your blogs because you're doing so many things. It's hard for me to track all of them.
Yeah, I've got three things on the WPCurve.com. You can check that out, or WPCurve.com/blog, which is all our content. 7daystartup.com is my community for online entrepreneurs, and we do quarterly challenges where we help people start businesses. And blackhops.com.au, brewery online, which is where I am now, actually downstairs in my office, and we're hopefully launching in about 3 weeks. And also do a lot of content on that site, blackhops.com.au for blog, where we have articles about building a brewery, and we have a podcast where we talk about building a brewery, and so active on social media with all those businesses as well. I'm at Dan Norris, Dan Norris on Periscope, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Blog. That's about it. Pretty active on most of those platforms. So yeah, and then 7 Startup Facebook group, you can join that for free and join in the fun and launch a business during our challenge.
Yeah, I would, yeah, that anyone who's thinking to starting something, project or just anything, really try the 7 day startup challenges. Will give you the motivation to finish something and get it out of the door. I think that's the main thing that everyone needs.
Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you very much for giving your time here and sharing the knowledge. We've had a little bit of technical difficulties, but I think we'll do some post-production and we'll get something out of the door.
Yeah, hopefully, I don't know what the delay, but yeah, thanks.
All right. Cheers.
Okay, see you, mate.